Hello and welcome to my next video in my EDC series. So yesterday I introduced you guys to my tool pouch that's usually on my belt when I go to city. Today I'm going to show you my other pouches that may find their way on my belt. Some of them all the time, some of them just in and around city, some of them just occasionally, but this is what I usually have on my belt. This is pretty much always with me. This is just for the city. When I'm going outdoors, I will take this one and replace it, and this I will only have occasionally, mostly when I'm traveling and when I have to check my trail cams at my property. But yeah, let's see what's in there. Now keep in mind that sometimes I do mix and match items in them, so they may vary as configuration, but most of the times they will be like that. So I will start with the one that I use the rarest, very seldom, but that has its purpose in my gear, and I do use it. So let's see, this is my infrared camera with some cards and USB adapters that will allow me to take, if they want, take them out and use them with my phone. Now I mostly use these guys when I check my trail cams to see if there was any activity on my property when I was gone, and to actually change the cards with new ones if I need to do that. So that's their purpose. So I also have here just a waterproof and shockproof flash drives. This is 32 gigs. I keep some information that I find important to me. I have some things that are private here. I have some books stored in here that have on them information that I need, and maybe some pictures that I find valuable to me, so I like to have them with me. So this is waterproof, shockproof, and I have it in the outdoors, so I have that information kind of protected if I need to. This is just an adapter that allows me to take information from cards like this and store it on my phone, or the other way around, take information from my phone and store it on cards like this one, or the little one for that matter. It's an adapter that works with multiple types of cards, so yeah, it will take any card, any type of card you need, and it works with both iPhones or another Android phone that uses USB-C, and it also has the ability to charge in the same time. So my phone is usually an iPhone, so I need this to be able to upload and download information from my phone if I need to do that. Most of the time I'll do that when I need to free up some space. So if I'm fishing and I'm traveling and I took plenty of pictures in one day, I will take one of these cards and download that information from my phone to free up some space. I also keep my adapter for headphones in here, and even though I use Bluetooth headphones, I find this to be useful when I use a selfie stick. Those guys do have the jack plug there, and I need this to be able to use it with my phone. So that's there for that particular reason. Okay, let's put that back in there. It's kind of a tight fit, but it does the job, so it works for me. And this is just the FLIR one for iOS. This is just an infrared camera. I use it to do inspections on insulation when I need to do that, and sometimes at night when I'm traveling may come handy. But yeah, this is just the cam, and I have the charging cable for it because it has its own battery. And this goes in there, that goes in there, this goes in there, and this goes in here. And that's pretty much everything that's in this kit. Not properly seated, and we don't want that. Like that. On the back of it, I just have a carabiner if I need to attach this to my backpack or in my van handy, and I also have just a small alternative to the Swiss Army Knife Classic. This is from Zwilling, and it has just the same thing, just a small blade, a small file, nail file, and a very small scissor. They came in handy a few times, so I keep them here just because they take no space. So that's one of the pouches. The second one is my battery bank, and this is a recent acquisition, so this pouch is still a work in progress. I may change from it. Also, I'm trying to uniformize my gear and move everything I can to USB-C, so that I will not depend on too many different adapters and cables. But yeah, so I previously used this one, which is the Goal Zero 6000 milliamps battery bank, in combination with an InCharge 6. That was all the cable I needed for everything I owned, and just the other cable is from my EDC flashlight. It's a magnetic adapter, so unfortunately I cannot replace it with something else. And this is now my outdoors battery bank. For the city, I found that I don't need as much power, so I can do with less, and therefore I decided to carry this one. So initially I bought it because I thought it's also 6000 milliamps. However, I have another video about it this is actually only 3700 milliamps, because its output is 5 volts, not 3.6 as the battery is. So you have some loss in conversion there, in transformation, and therefore it's less power that the one advertised. But for a day in a city, it's more than enough for me to recharge. I have an iPhone 12 mini, so it doesn't have a big battery. For me, it's enough to recharge my phone once, actually up to once and a half, and that other half may be also used to charge my flashlights or other electronics I carry with me, including that camera you previously saw. So yeah, it's useful to have one of them. And the problem with this one is that for some reason this, in combination with an InCharge 6, it wasn't able to charge my phone, my iPhone. So regardless how I tried, there is no way this works with the iPhone. So I don't know which one is to blame. This InCharge works very well with the Go Zero battery bank. Now I don't know if the capacity or this one has some built-in limitations for energy loss or something like that. I'm not sure what's the reason for that, but they do not work together. Therefore, instead of this, I had to move to a kind of cable system with plenty of adapters, because also the output of this one, it's only one input and output, and that's USB-C. That allows it to be in a very compact format, but that also makes it compulsory to have adapters for different other tools or flashlights or whatever you have to charge with it. So I have to take this with me all the time. And again, my EDC flashlight from Imalent, it's the EDC 70. I have it in another video. Uses magnetic charging, so I'm forced to take this cable with me. But not for long, because I plan to upgrade from that flashlight to something else, and then I will not need this anymore. But for the moment, this is what is in this pouch, so not much there. And I have two small cable ties, just if I need to tie up something quickly, they may come handy. And now my main pouch. So this is my phone pouch, and it's also what I call communication pouch and survival pouch all in one. I have a few different items. I have some tools in here as well, so pretty much everything that wasn't able to fit in my tool pouches and the other pouches is in here. Now keep in mind that's besides what I have in my pockets, yeah, so there are items that I also carry. So as you can see, it's quite old. I believe I have this one for at least 6 years now. I got once I get used to something, I keep that, just because routine is the second nature, and once you got used to having some items in certain places, you will always look for them there. So this doesn't change much in my case. It's almost the same configuration as it was 6 years ago. Two or three additions I had to this pouch, but let's get into it. So what I have here, let's get the bigger objects out first. So this is a water filter, just because sometimes you may find yourself in a situation when you need water. I do spend a lot of times outdoors, sometimes straight out from the job. So and I might go fishing, I might go hiking, and I might go mushroom picking, or just walking the dogs. Wilderness, it's a big part of our life as a family, so I tend to keep a water filter with me at all times. Not to mention that we have quite a bit of wilderness surrounding us with the parks in the area. So second item will be a tactical pen, and I chose this one just because I have a whistle on top, and it comes handy when I have to remind the dogs that they need to come back to us. We do walk them off leash sometimes when there is enough space and we don't interfere with anybody else's business. So I like this a lot. I do have a Fisher space insert in there, so I can write with it underwater and on the moon if I need to, and if I get there. But I found that handy. Also, the second reason for which I chose this particular one is that it has a built-in ferro rod, and that will be a good fire starter there. And then it's supposed to have a glass breaker there, but I'm not sure how capable that glass breaker is. And I do have the scraper for the ferro rod here, which is a piece of carbide, and I believe one of these corners will do a better job at eliminating a window that this window breaker will do. But that's just my speculation. I never tried it, so in a pinch, if I need to, I'll make it work for sure. So that's the second item I have there. Then I have my mirror, flexible mirror that I can use to look underneath cabinets and furniture and stuff like that if I need to, underneath the car if I need to inspect something. I hear strange noises and I need to stop on the road to investigate, and the advantage is that it is telescopic, so that will give me the reach I need to go. If I used it once when I dropped one of the screws at my battery when I was changing the battery on my van. So I had to kind of look in the engine bay there to see where my screw went and retrieve it. And speaking of retrieval, this is also why I keep two magnets, neodymium magnets with this guy, because this is also a retrieval tool for me when I need to do that. So yeah, multiple purpose item, very useful, and I really enjoy, and it's also small and lightweight. I really enjoyed having this item with me a couple of times. So this yeah, it's an important tool to have for me. Now, speaking of tools, another thing I have in here is this little guy, and this little guy is just because I used to be a professional rod builder, but I also do lots of other DIY tasks and projects, and I do find a need for precise measurements of diameters, inner and outer diameters sometimes, especially since I came to Canada and I had to adapt to the imperial system. Sometimes I just need to measure something to figure out how much that means in millimeters instead of using a conversion calculator or something like that. And with this tool I will also keep just a small pen for sketching, just because this can write on pretty much anything. So if I need to mark or material or something, I have that ability with this little guy here. So this is also in there. Now this is my sharpening stone, and that has its own pouch in there with the calipers. And this is just to have some knife maintenance on the go, because, and I chose this particular type, teardrop shape stone, just because I usually carry recurved blades, and recurved blades are easier to sharpen on a round surface. So that's also there with me. By the way, if you are curious which knife this is, because I showed it in quite a few videos, this is the Microtech Amphibian, but I modified this just a little bit here, and the shape of the blade more to my liking. And then let's see, so just to simulate my phone, I have another phone in here to show you that there is actually room for a phone in there. Also I have in here my Right in the Rain notebook, and this comes handy if I need to use it for navigation or stuff like that in difficult meteorological conditions. This may be useful. I do have in here also another mirror, a bigger mirror, just to have it as an easier job. And I do have here a reminder that wife is a big part of my life. And if you ever find yourself in a difficult picture with the family, it's always good to have, yeah, in a difficult situation. So that's there. Then a small repair kit, just a sewing needle with some buttons, a few pieces of threads, different colors, and in the back I have what actually this is originally, so gear aid repair patches for jackets, for anything fabric wise, maybe a tent, maybe something else, maybe a sleeping bag. It's good to have with you. I do carry it with me at all times. Now I did stop drinking coffee a while back, and I'm a big fan of tea, especially herbal teas. I do pick my own plants from, I forage from the wilderness, and these are just a couple of tea bags. If I want to have one on the go, I usually have something to boil water in my pocket as well. That will be my water bottle, so I can improvise a tea quite quickly. Then a piece of double adhesive tape. I used to have 2 of them. This is what's left, and not even one full one, because I used part of it. It's handy to have something like that with you, and it doesn't take much space. Some the glasses towel to be able to clean up my glasses. I do wear glasses, so I depend on them. This is one cable I'm trying to get rid of. This is the mini USB adapter. So I only have a couple of flashlights that are using this adapter right now, and normally they are not with me, but I found that I was relying on having one with me, and I was trying to also help some people with charging, and I did not have, so I decided to take one of these back with me for the moment. We'll see, and if the need for it will disappear, it will disappear from my pouch as well. Then you may have noticed a theme with my pouches. In each pouch I have a different type of tape, just because different types of tape will give you different abilities. So some clear tape, some reflective tape in this pouch, that will go a long way if you need to. So they are good to have. And then what's else in here? So I have just a small what's left out of a bobber for fishing. That will be just a small survival item there, because I do have a fishing kit in here. So this is a small spool of fishing line, braided line, and I will also have a measuring tape. Is not quite a tape, but it's a piece of plastic with both imperial and metric system on it, up to 15 centimeters or 6 inches. This is the other half of my fishing kit. Are my fishing hooks, and they are just in the back of my pouch there, just because I don't use them really. I just have them with me. But if I will ever need to have some fishing hooks with me, I do have actually a few good hooks that I use when I'm fishing. These are just pairs, and I have tried and tested these guys quite a bit, and now I know what they are capable of. So if I do need to fish for survival at one point, at least I know I can rely on my gear. Same with the line there. It's good also so this is actually ice braid, so it's good for winter as well. So if we have snow on the ground and ice fishing is in order, that will do the trick as well. But it's also usable in the summer. So still in the back here, so if you did not notice, and I did not mention it yet, I do modify everything I own. And this pouch I found that is very nice for the phone, but also you can use another divider there. So I kind of created a hole that will allow me to hide stuff in the back there. And some of the stuff I have there, besides those fishing hooks and that measuring tape, are it's a small medical kit. So I have some band-aids, various sizes. I do have some tape for if your shoes are rubbing in the wrong spot and you may get blisters. I do have some tape for that, and I do have some burns treatment. So it's a cream that if I get burned, I can use that on my skin. So that goes all the way in the back there. And also in the pouch here, I do have 2 other carbon elements for my water filter. So these are very tiny, they may get clogged. Also, they are kind of easy to pull out sometimes, most of the times. So if I lose one and I need to replace it, I do have spares with me. So those are there. And now on the outside of the pouch, I created this little thing here that contains some thread. This is actually micro cord. Also has a piece of shrink tube, so if I need to improvise a handle for something, I can easily take this off here and use it to what I need to do with it. And everything is held together with the nano tape I showed you in another video. So this is also a piece of kit. So I showed you this nano tape in the video with my survival bracelet with the silver coins. Is the same adhesive here. This also has 6 years since I've put it here, but if I will remove this from here, I can reuse it. And what I have here, a bobby pin. You can never know when you may need something like this. It's good to have with you, and a safety pin there as well. And then I will have just some cable ties. Now I have a few big reusable cable ties just in case I need something just temporary to tie with them. I do have some stainless steel cable ties, which I found out the hard way that you may need sometimes for the car. So actually what I used this for was I was on the way on one of my travels, and all of a sudden the exhaust got loose. It has like a rubber band there that keeps it attached to the chassis, and that was old enough and broke, and I needed something to attach my exhaust back, but a regular cable tie will not work because this plastic will melt. Cordage as well will not work because of the same reason, will get burned, and I needed something that can withstand. So I had this in my car kit, and they were very hard accessible. I had to unload the entire van to get to them. So I got that lesson learned then, and I took some and put them on my pouch because you never know, yeah. So even a second application, I hope I will never need to do that, but if I have to restrain somebody with kind of cuffs systems, I will not use the plastic one, I will use the metal one, and I'm sure that they will not be able to break them. So, and also I have two bands here, sky bands or however you call them, Velcro bands, attached to my molly system, just in case I need to make something look a bit more tidy or secure. I have this, I can take them off here and use them where I need them. So that's pretty much it, other than lots of dust from the time I've been using this. That will be pretty much what I have in this pouch. Now I hope I gave you some ideas with this, and maybe you've learned that there are items in here you might need yourself. So I always say each with its own, so you have to actually do and take what works for you. This is something that I discovered during the years that I kind of need sometimes, and it works for me, but you do you. Other than that, have a good one, guys, and enjoy your day.